And we are back, and today one of our guests, our first guest, is Mr. Charles Tran, and Charles is the CEO of Live Mobile Technology. Welcome. We're happy to have you here.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. We figured this is a time of year we need to hear from people like you.
Yeah.
So tell us about
Sure.
what you do.
So, good morning.
Good morning.
It's very important. I like to come out just to let you guys know that we work on many cybersecurity, from residential to commercial.
Okay.
So my role is I'm the CEO of the company Live Mobile Technology. We do cybersecurity, we do access controls, anything security. We also do alarm systems and CCTV and surveillance, and that's our technology. Pretty much that is the gist of our company and what I do.
That's cool. So your background is very extensive, right? I know you have a lot of certifications.
Yes.
And your schooling was it in technology as well?
Yes, my major is computer information systems.
Okay.
In Los Angeles. I'm a Californian.
Okay.
And
how long has Live Mobile been alive?
well, it's been around 12 years.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And so I know one really fun fact about you, and that is you got to work with NASA and
cool.
SpaceX or something,
SpaceX.
right? So
HPF.
is that like the Elon Musk deal?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was one of the Falcon 9 rockets. We did all 160 cameras, security system for HPF.
Wow.
HPF builds, it's called Houston Precision Fastener.
Okay.
And what they do is they build the fasteners, the bolts,
Uh-huh.
and all the things that holds the Falcon 9 rockets together.
Okay. So how'd it go? Didn't blow up, right?
Um,
I know
Well,
something went out this weekend. He had some successful launch this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I actually.
So is that your
watched it.
handiwork?
Oh, well,
Take credit. Take credit.
We're only doing the security side of
So
it.
now
Oh,
he
okay.
couldn't even go, right, because of possible exposure to COVID or something?
Wow.
I heard, yes.
Is that really?
Yeah, he was.
I didn't know that.
He had.
Okay.
But I'm sure.
Impossible.
Wow.
exposure,
Yeah.
Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to know what is more dangerous. I should say, who is the more susceptible, individuals or businesses?
You're talking about just security
For cybersecurity,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm just going to read you a little statistics that I found.
Okay.
You guys.
We like facts.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, guess what's the percentage of cyber crime? Of course, it went
Has
up.
it gone up? Okay, it's gone up a lot.
More people at home.
600%.
Right.
600%.
Oh my goodness.
Cyber security and crime has
Uh-huh.
gone up 600% during this pandemic.
Whoa.
Why?
That is because a majority of the
People are home with nothing else to do but learn.
honestly, I don't know the exact answer,
Right.
but I already psychologically they don't have a job,
Right.
They're at home,
And so it's
and so the kids are at home,
mhm.
and majority of the youth are actually part of that cyber.
okay. So it's mischief, and then it's also people trying to get over, right? It's also people doing it for monetary reasons.
And I think
Yeah.
that also the fact that we are at home, we're shopping more at home.
Uh-huh.
We're exposing ourselves to
Exactly.
even more
Yeah.
people being able to get our
Exactly.
information.
There's a lot of statistics that shows you. And I'm going to read you this other statistics.
Okay.
There are 80,000 cyber attacks per day.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Just not in America. You mean in America or everywhere?
This is worldwide.
Okay.
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 According to CSS, which is the Cybersecurity Statistics,
Okay.
and FTC.
Okay.
But FTC is only a portion of them
Right.
from America. But 30 million attacks per day.
Okay.
I mean, per year, excuse me.
That's a lot. That's
30
a lot.
million attacks.
So
And
you
that's in
stay
a
busy.
normal year without
That is
COVID.
as of 2018.
Oh
I'm reading
my
the stats
goodness.
as
So
of
it's out of
2018.
control
So
right
this
now.
is the question I have. Should I call you Charles? Or
Yeah.
Charles.
Okay, Charles. So I always tell my mother when she gets an email, just don't open any email
Yeah.
because is there something to that? You know,
Just
Right.
and you mean just don't open any old
feel
email?
Like if you open
Yeah.
an email, are you exposing yourself?
Well, obviously you have to read your email. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
have loved ones emailing
Uh-huh.
you. You have companies that requires you to pay for bills and stuff like that.
Right.
Right.
The most important thing is to educate yourself. This
Right.
is very important. You have to educate, not just because, oh, well, I have an antivirus protection, but is your antivirus protection up to date?
Right.
Is that antivirus secure enough?
Right.
Is it
Okay.
reputable antivirus? There are antivirus out there that are not reputable, right?
Mhm.
So, are there some antivirus that you would say don't use? Like,
Well,
isn't Kaspersky?
There is a.
That's
literally
Russian.
Probably
Right.
Kaspersky is.
Kaspersky, yeah,
Yes,
Kaspersky.
it is
It's
a
Russian.
Russian program.
So is that a good idea for
Well, yeah,
us to
because
even
we
sell
don't-
that?
We don't.
It is
Just
from
because
Russia.
Something is Russian doesn't necessarily mean it's automatically in a
Well-
bad
Well,
category, does it?
If it smells like
There-
a cat and it
there are-
meows like a cat.
There are state actors out there, and I'm going to
Thank
use the
you.
word right now. The name of the person who is a criminal, cybersecurity criminal, is called threat actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
They're called
like
threat
hackers.
actors.
These are hackers.
They're
right?
hackers, but there's a name for that.
Okay.
So threat actors can be criminals. They could
Uh-huh.
be state sponsored, like Russia,
Right.
Iran, stuff like that.
Right.
So what you have to understand is, how do you protect yourself?
Right.
Educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Go online just to make sure you're being protected by having a good antivirus protection.
Absolutely.
Now, the other, I'm sure you guys, with your passwords,
Uh-huh.
is very important. Do you have all your
Oh.
passwords all across the board that if your bank, you have the same
Right.
password for the bank, you have
Yeah.
the same password for your email? Do you have that? The answer should be no.
Well, unfortunately, that's not
Especially
true.
That's a big
bank,
mistake.
I let bank have its own password, even
That's
though I
right.
might kind of
That's
use some other
smart.
stuff, like
That's
for my
very
Netflix,
important.
Okay.
whatever.
So do
Yeah.
you
But
have a
bank is by
service?
itself.
What would you recommend? Like, I know some people use Pass. There's an app for passwords.
LastPass.
LastPass.
There's all kinds of,
Okay.
it's called password managing software.
I need
Make
some
sure
of
it
that. I
has-
need that.
It has an encryption. It's
Okay.
called 256-bit encryption.
Okay.
And there's a few out there called Dashlane is another one I recommend.
Okay.
It has a very high level of security
Okay.
for password protection and two-step verification.
I
Everything
agree
you
with
do
that. I
is
do
called
that.
multi-factor authentication.
Okay.
Obviously, when
Yes.
you sign into your phone from your Google,
Mm-hmm.
very first
It's
time,
going to ask you.
it's going to send you a text saying someone has signed in. Obviously, you can do one of two ways: confirm it via email or confirm it on your text.
Mhm.
Right. So that's very important. So that's another education that you have to
Right.
understand is every device or every computer, everything that you try to log in, make sure you have very strong password, complex password.
Yes.
Obviously, the 123 or
Right,
password
right.
123
Or
that won't
change
work.
me 1, 2, 3.
No, at all.
Now,
So
that's
So I see that you have an Apple, and so
Yes.
I also have a Mac.
mhm.
And so Mac supposedly has its own kind of security system.
It has one of the better
yeah.
kind of security system in the fact that it uses Linux.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Linux is an environment on the Mac, FreeBSD. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but what it is Apple is on top of their security. They do updates all the time, and that's why you need to
Yeah.
update your
Right.
phone.
It's constantly
You have
updating,
to
isn't
constantly
it?
update,
So
yes.
what
Right.
do you think about the Apple program, because it will save your passwords?
Apple has their own. It has an encryption.
Right.
I use
so,
Google
All
Chrome.
their passwords has
I
encryptions.
mean, because since I have an Apple computer
Yes.
and an Apple phone
Uh-huh.
and an iPad, it's basically, it'll hook everything
Right.
up and it'll save the passwords
Right.
for me.
We only use Apple as well. I got like a MacBook
MacBook
Pro
yeah,
or something.
yes.
Now, before we run out of time, I also definitely want to talk about home security
Mhm.
because that's a big deal.
Mhm.
I when we were living in apartments, me and all my sisters,
Mhm.
we would never live on the first floor because we were always concerned about that. So, what is going on? Has that become more prevalent?
Oh,
Burglaries?
And
Mhm.
even with that, is it possible, because I was seeing this one show that they had cameras that they bought like off of someplace,
Mhm.
and somebody was able to hack into their
Yeah.
camera
Oh,
and look
my-
inside their house.
Ew.
There's-
That's why I won't have an indoor camera. I
Well,
will not.
Let me explain to you. I
Our
think
phones are bad enough.
It's again back to education.
Right.
Okay. So you have to understand, having a security camera doesn't necessarily mean being safe,
Right.
but having a security camera that you need to know how to protect your password.
Yes.
That's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you have an installer,
Uh huh.
if I ever
He's my installer. Let's keep. Oh yeah, full disclosure. Okay.
we install security system and we always tell and educate our client. And by the way, to even install a security system, do not hire anyone without a security license.
Right. Right.
Our company
Don't
is
ask your cousin Ray to come hook it up for you. You bought it off Amazon. Yeah, you can't do that.
If you do by accident, by chance, and obviously it's illegal in the state of Texas to have someone to come out and install.
I never
It could
knew
be,
that.
it could be an imposter. He
I
could
never
be,
knew that.
has a criminal record, and that could be a problem.
Okay.
So back to the subject.
Uh-huh.
We're vetted. Our company is licensed, and obviously we're insured.
Right.
So if there's anything like we drill a hole into the wall, and if there's a leak, we have a security, a license that we can, and an insurance that will protect your property and stuff like that in case of that event that happened.
Okay.
But knock on wood, we haven't had that problem.
Right.
We've done thousands of camera installation. But back to the question, what is the security involved with your cameras?
Right.
Here's the answer, really simple. Number one, anyone who installed the cameras, you tell them that you as an installer, they have to give you the right to change your own password.
Absolutely.
When they're done, you don't even have to explain to them. You just download the app. So it could be Ring.
Right.
We also do Ring security. We're also a licensed and authorized dealer for Rings and Deep Sentinel.
Okay.
Deep Sentinel security is one of the other Ring technology with one technology where it actually monitors at night. So if you're sleeping at night, Ring will always remind you, right?
Okay.
But that's too late. What happens at 4 o'clock in the morning? Someone breaks in.
Right.
Right. Deep Sentinel has a live guard that watch over the
Really?
whole premise. And then if someone comes in, has an artificial intelligent camera system that catches either it's a cat, dog, or a human. If it's a human, live guard is notified. He intervenes and he sees if there's another person that is not the owner of the house, he'll call out and say, "This is private property. I need to know who you are. Say your name." And actually ask you a few questions just to make sure you're the owner.
What is this? What's the system called?
Deep Sentinel. So
is it very expensive?
we'll definitely sit down and explain.
Okay.
to
Is it for homes or for businesses?
It is a subscription base.
Okay.
So it's like having a security guard.
Wow.
Is this indoor and outdoor?
You can always put it around your perimeter.
Is it like a
We always
robot?
recommend.
It's like a robot?
It is not a robot. It's a live guard.
Oh, it's a real person.
But the camera has an artificial intelligence chip.
Man.
It actually it detects whether it's a dog, cat, or a human being. If it sees a human being, it would notify the security guard. And the security guard actually gets intervene online, real time.
But that's speaking to someone who's necessarily in a house.
Right.
So what about someone who's in an apartment?
Sure. So, regardless of the apartment or not, you kind of angle your camera either
so you can have that
in your house or in the front of your
door, right? Right. So wherever the entrance is, okay.
And he will, and then if it detects a human, the guard will ask you who you are. Okay. Obviously, you have to answer. It's Robin. It's me. I'm the owner. If that's the case, the guard will ask you a password.
Great. Okay.
Mr. Charles Tran, the only problem that I have with indoor cameras is that to make sure I'm dressed properly.
Thank you. I wouldn't do an indoor camera. Really? That's right. Whoops. I forgot.
There's a privacy mode.
Okay.
You push privacy, it turns off the camera, the guard doesn't even look at you.
So when you're home, you could turn it off.
There's a privacy mode,
Okay. So, now, if you're home and someone breaks in, and the camera's off, what do you do?
Well, obviously,
it should be voice activated.
Again, back to education. Okay. It sounds really,
elementary, right?
It's very important.
Okay.
Every time, and you're talking about security.
Right.
So the first thing about security is you're the only person securing your home.
Okay.
So you have to make sure.
Okay. I agree with that. I agree with that. So what would you recommend us? What is the best thing we could do, number one, to protect our computers and to protect our homes? Are there some basic
I have 5
principles. Okay.
Yeah, there's hundreds of ways.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just going to give you 5 basic concepts. One, have a good antivirus.
Okay, have a good antivirus.
On a computer,
okay.
Right?
Okay.
On a Mac, of course, there's a security. You can install that on a Mac if you want to.
Okay.
PC or Mac. Okay. Number 2, change your password to every single password you have. Do not leave it the same.
Okay.
All across the board. If your bank, you have a separate password for the bank. You have a separate password for the email. Because if a hacker hacks into one account, he's going to use all the emails.
Okay.
And the password.
So you
We
would
have
recommend
all
getting
across the board.
password software because that's the only way a human's
Password
going to do
managing
it.
software is called
Okay.
Because most
Dashlane.
of the time I forget my password.
Oh, I do
Yeah.
too. That's why
Exactly.
all the time.
I use Dashlane for mine.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good to
and
know.
It's very secure. by the way.
Dashlane.
Yeah, it has
Okay.
an encryption. It's
Okay.
very important.
Okay.
Not all password managing software are the same.
Okay.
I've just been
Number-
writing mine down.
Oh, I have a
That's
little.
the worst.
Yeah.
Because, I've seen post it right there. I'm
Right.
like, oh, God.
Right.
Number 3 is you don't use your computer, you don't use your phone, turn it off.
Okay.
Turn off the camera.
I always
The
put
camera.
I put a sticky over my camera all the time anyway.
Always.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean that your computer has been hacked.
Right.
It's just a precaution.
That's a good idea.
It's a precaution because
Okay.
hackers can, by accident, you can go to a website by chance
Mm-hmm.
and click on an icon.
Right.
That icon was to say, click onto the next page.
Mm-hmm.
That is a script as a malware.
Okay.
It downloads a little virus in your machine,
Okay.
and it can turn on the cameras and so on. I mean, there's a million ways
So
an intruder can get into that.
I feel like I've heard that if you on your computer and you
Mhm.
start to see that there's some malware, the best thing is just immediately to unplug it from the wall.
That is true,
Really?
but regardless, it's already inside your computer.
Oh man.
Okay, antivirus is the first line of defense.
Okay.
Antivirus, there's also 2 types of antivirus. There's an anti-malware and anti-spyware. That's one
Uh-huh.
category. The other one's an antivirus.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's ransomware?
Sure.
So, did we do all 5?
Oh, you hit all 5?
No, I'm going to finish. Thank you for asking. Thank you, Dr. Kiva.
It keeps us on track.
Number- That's actually number 4. Number
Okay.
5 is, like I mentioned, the 2-step verification
Uh-huh.
on your phone,
Good
on any
idea.
device.
Okay.
That is just 5 most important
Okay.
things that you can protect your computer with.
Okay, great.
Thank you for that, Dr.
That's
Oh,
good.
no problem.
Now can I
Yes,
ask
you
him
can.
about
Yes, you
ransomware? Because I keep hearing
What's the
malware,
difference between
ransomware. What is?
ransomware and malware?
Uh-huh.
A malware is all kinds of virus,
Right.
malware, spyware,
Mhm.
and that program can infect your machine.
Right.
The word infection means it can spread their
got it.
software,
Uh huh.
and it can implement all kinds,
Right.
and can be very detrimental.
And
to
that's
your
a
computer.
lot of those videos when people say,
Yes.
click on this video. And I tell my mom, do not send videos because you never know which ones are real.
Yes.
But now I read that ransomware is sort of what it sounds like. They will hack you if you don't do
The
something they want you
ransomware
to do.
is a form of malware.
Uh huh.
The difference with a ransomware is very simple.
Okay.
Once it gets in your computer, it doesn't do anything.
Uh huh.
It starts taking all your files and it hijacks it.
Oh my
Blocks
goodness.
it.
So why do
blocks
they
your
call
computer.
it ransomware?
And then
Don't.
one day you turn back on the machine, it says, you have to pay us.
Yeah, that's
And
what
it's,
I.
and it's a
Yeah.
few ways. It says you have about
Oh
10
my
days,
God.
whatever. in
Anonymous is
Bitcoin.
famous. They're famous for that, right? Remember Anonymous?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are famous for that. They did that with the Korean movie. Remember the interview?
Yeah.
And so they hacked Sony because they hated the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty. Oof.
Yeah, it's the North
Yeah,
Koreans.
yeah, that was
stuff like
wild.
Yeah.
I know we're running out of time, but we definitely would hope for you to come back
Yeah, sure.
because
Give us all your social
yeah,
media.
how can people get a hold
Sure.
of you?
So my website is www.livemobiletechnology.com.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you just look up livemobiletechnology.com, and we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much everywhere. Google, of course.
And do you have a number where if people
Sure.
want to get some information
Our-
from you?
My direct line is 832-612-2215.
Great.
And that's goes to my office. Our office is in Richmond, Texas. And
Are you still in Richmond? I thought you guys moved to Katy.
on Mason Road?
Oh, that's still
Sold
Richmond.
the building.
Wonderful.
Bought a new building.
Yeah,
in
big things are
Richmond.
happening over there.
Nice.
We want to thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming.
Yeah, especially in security for
It's so important.
computers
Yeah.
and everything, because like you said, that's going to be a big hack because
Oh,
the
yeah.
holidays are coming.
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely. So hopefully you'll
Yeah.
come back because
Sure.
things are always changing in the cyber world. So we need to be on top of it.
I know we're gonna have Cyber Mondays.
Yeah. Oh, I
Cyber
like that
Mondays.
idea. Matter of fact, we'll probably have you after
Yeah,
Cyber
hang out.
Monday.
Yeah, I'll hang out every Monday.
Because we
Okay.
need to, we're gonna Cyber Monday is gonna be interesting this year.
I know, right?
Charles Tran, thank you so much. We
Thank you
appreciate you
so
Thank you for
very
having
much.
me. Thank you.
Guys, when we come back, we're going to have security part number 2, which is all about physical. So get ready, and we'll come back with Officer Trailer. Be right back.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and you know, sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And you know, my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. You know, I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay,
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head.
Hey, this is the Talk About Unity show where I bring the talk.
And I bring the unity.
And together we talk about unity. Unity is what matters.
Come on.
And right now in our country, that's what we've got to do. So we do that here at Talk About Unity on the Edge Radio Network. Be with us every week.
It's going to be awesome. It always is. And I tell you what, the more we seek first to understand, then be understood, we make progress.
And we like to do that. And that's why everybody's on the brink. We love what we do at Edge Radio because everybody's on the edge. We bring them back from the edge and we bring the unity. So we're just glad. Edge Radio Network every Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Talk About Unity because here at Edge Radio Network, truth still matters.